you to day 2 action of the second major championship of the 2023 season. A pair shared the lead at the end of day 1. Hong Ji-won and Hong Jung-min with matching 66s. Hong Ji-won already done and dusted for the day with a 2 under par round of 70 that leaves her 8 under par, but Hong Jung-min has hit the front at 9 under, 3 under for her round today as Hwang Yo-min gets back to even par for the day and the championship with that birdie at the 7th. She's playing in the final featured group here for the first 2 days alongside Bang Shin-sil and a certain Kim Soo-ji. 132 of the best in the Korean women's game made the trip over to Rainbow Hills this week to contest this 1.2 billion Korean won prize purse. So far, safe to say, the cream is steadily rising to the top. Here is your current championship leader, Hong Jung-min, to extend that gap at the top to 2 shots with his downhill right to left putt on the 9th. This would send her out in 32 shots. Ooh, grabbed a big piece of the top side of the cup, and it's just trickled a foot or 2 further on than Hong Jung-min would have liked. Winner of last year's Doosan Match Play Championship, still seeking a first stroke play title, is Hong Jung-min. Now out to the start of the back 9 and saw a Jin to get to 7 under. Good effort there. Normally you'd like to think that professional golfers get to par 5s and they're going to make birdies with no problem. I guarantee you every single player in this field would be glad to play the 10th hole in even par this week. Now Kim Min-sol, what a story she's been this week. Opened up with a 4 under par round of golf yesterday. This to get to 7 under. Well done. 33 shots on her outward half. And she's going to get to within 2 of her playing partner's lead. Back down on 80. Big hitting Bang Shin-sil. She has been mighty impressive and a lot of fun to watch this year. She's just lacked a little consistency. Had it to 5 under par at one point in yesterday's opening round. Eventually shot a 3 under par 69 and now finds herself 4 over through 7 holes and 1 over for the tournament. Son, 3rd season as a professional golfer, still chasing a breakthrough title. Stay at 7 under par now. A little testy comebacker for Hong Jung-min. Oh dear. And that 3 putt out of the blue is going to slide her back into a share of the lead. First drop shot of the day for Hong. Did make 2 bogeys yesterday. Birdies balancing that out comfortably. Somewhat of Kim Soo-ji, Bang Shin-sil and Lee Won coming up this par 4 8th. Last year's Player of the Year, a former top 3 amateur in the world in Hwang Yo-min and the rookie sensation of 2023 Bang Shin-sil. It's going to be Soo-ji first to play. The pin today on 8, just 8 paces from the left edge of the green. Here it's spinning. That's how firm these greens are. Lovely shot there from Kim Soo-ji. Leave herself right around 10 feet for birdie. This is Kim Min-ju in her second into the 12th. Okay. Things have dried out a little since deluge of rain we had through the middle part of yesterday's opening round, but they're still relatively receptive. Sung Yujin has second to 9. Slight uphill lie here. Pins that easier front section of the green. Don't have to worry about that middle tier so much today. Should come around a little bit. Pretty good shot there. Yeomin have an awkward stance here, ball below her feet, but she's drawn a nice line this left rough. Just going to skip through onto the back edge, but no harm done there. Swing across to the back 9 in the 11th tee. Pin on 11 yesterday, got absolutely peppered. Beg your pardon, this is the third hole in Mada Som. Talk about peppering pins. That one should. Oh, just misses that little slope that would have fed it closer to the hole, but still an excellent tee shot, this long par 3. Bang Shin Sil. Should surprise no one that she's last to play. Longest hitter on tour this year by quite some margin. It's a much better wedge shot from Shin Sil. Just lacked a little consistency with the shorter clubs. Trust me, she has many. Our first look of the day at Lee Ye-won opened with a 5 under par round, a 67 yesterday. Did this year's Lotte Rent-A-Car Ladies Open champion. She continues to hit some very fine iron shots. That a beauty into the 9th. Picked up a shot today. So she's only 2 back. Third player in this group, Park Yoon-kyung, has 2 major titles to her name, but remember this one came very close in an epic weekend duel with Park Min-ji in 2021. Treading water right now is Hyun-kyung, level par for the tournament. I feel it won't be for long. That is a superb shot to that front pin. And the par 4 9th. Kim Min-ju. This putt. A little bit more than that for Min-ju, who will stay at 3. Yeomin fancies a chance, has pulled the flagstick out from just off the edge of this 8th green. It's got to hustle. It's got to hustle. So much promise through her amateur days. Hwang Yeomin turned pro in the middle of last year. It's been a slow transition into the professional ranks for Yeomin. Year 1. That's for birdie at 9. Never looked like she was even looking far enough right, so a bit of a misread there. Currently in her sophomore season on the KGA Tour. Suji crossed the 1 billion single season earnings mark last year, Korean won of course. tentative with that as well for Suji. Pair of wins last year, including the very lucrative Hana Financial Group Championship. Played at Bears Best in Jeongna, outdueled a certain Hong Jong-min and Han Jin-seon down the stretch there for, at that time, a third KLPGA Tour title. Sung Yoo-jin, that one surely falling off low as well on 9, and we've seen some perils from past the pin. Hong Jong-min just took 3 to get in from a very similar spot in the group ahead. Shin-sil sliding down the leaderboard early. Remember, she was leading after 9 holes yesterday, went out in 5 under par. And that's what you want to see more of from Bang Shin-sil. Booming drive, solid wedge, and a nicely holed putt. A double and a triple on the card already today. That's going to make her feel just a little bit better. Hyun Kyung will have to exercise caution here. She knows it's a ticklish one. Right on her. Very, very strange. To avoid a similar fate to Hong Jong-min. I think this one should just be inside edge of the cup with good pace. Okay, trickles that one in nicely. A good 2-putt in the end. Sung Yoo-jin. Collected a second KLPGA Tour title a couple of weeks back at the Match Play Championship. Year 1 to go out in 35. Now the par 4-9, 374 meters. That does play a little bit shorter than that from an elevated tee box. A couple of bunkers on the left and right hand side of this fairway that gently moves from right to left. Longer hitters can actually run through the fairway if they're not careful. Most of the field are going to be coming in with sort of mid, maybe even short irons to a front hole location today. The green is a simple task, especially when the pin's on the front of this 2-tiered green. Just got to watch out for that bunker on the left-hand side. Anything past the pin, well, that leaves you a fairly slippery putt, but it's certainly a much more scoreable hole here on Friday than it was for yesterday's opening round. Shin-sil, as you can expect, just needs a hybrid club here. Just trying to keep it short of that little split in the fairway. That is spot on perfect.
하겠습니다. 멈춰주세요. 조용히 좀 해주세요.
Robert Trent Jones Jr. designed Rainbow Hills layout. Par 72. It's hosted the Korean Women's Open for the last couple of years. Kim Soo-ji also going to go with a 3-wood here. She's an aggressive swinger of the club, so doesn't like to sort of baby shots and chip little cut drivers down there. It's a little bit further back than she would have liked, but it's okay in the fairway. Hwang Yo-min, who has had some good success at Rainbow Hills as an amateur, was low amateur back in 2021. In fact, played the entire weekend in the final group alongside Park Min-ji and Park Hyun-kyung. Had a front row seat to that epic duel. Actually finished 4th that week, just a shot behind Lee Jung-min. It's a little late in transition there, and oh goodness, that is straight through the fairway. She does get to the far side of the cart path, so we'll be in the rough. Still has an uphill lie, so that's not terrible for Hwang Yo-min. Bit of a good break there. But with a 3-putt bogey on the 9th, Hong Jung-min now slips back into a tie for the lead with last year's Hanwha Classic champion Hong Ji-won. As it was at the beginning of the day, it's the pair of them who set the pace at the Korea Women's Open. Mata Som, after that wonderful tee shot at the 3rd, has afforded herself an opportunity to tie the lead. You see by the stats there, slight favourite to make it from this range. Just a little too much allowed break-wise for that. And the par's okay on this 174-metre par 3. Suji quite a long ways back, so she'll have to look pretty much just at that TV tower and make a little draw into this pin. Started there, it's staying there. Yeah, not bad, but that is the difference when you're coming in from a little bit further back in the fairway. Still a pretty good shot though. So we're up to Soa Jin. Down here, look for birdie at 11. Shinsu able to launch it a lot higher than Suji and certainly get to stop a lot quicker. It sounded a little thin though. Is it leaking right? And just, it's been a little bit loose from Shinsu. Not a bad spot to be chipping from. Short right of the green. I mentioned this was a good break for Hwang Yo-min, just running onto that uphill line. So she'll be able to launch this up with good height on it as well, and just be enough to counteract the lack of spin she's going to get coming out of this rough. It's going to be a big pitching wedge from 124. Come back off that little tier. Down it comes. That's okay for Hwang Yo-min. It's going to get closer and closer. Seventh playing of the National Open for the women here in South Korea. Now to the back nine and third shot into the 10th for Kim Min-sol. Best finish ever by an amateur at the Korean Women's Open. It was a playoff loss. Won Jae-suk getting dumped out by eventual winner Go Woo-son in 1989. The second of Go Woo-son's back-to-back Korean Women's Open titles. Hwang Yo-min obviously came close in 2021. Now Jung-min just got to be wary of a bit of a flyer lie coming out of this rough on the left. I just jumped a little bit on her and it's going to release onto the back edge of the green. No harm done. Shinsu. Stab and run. Played very nicely, but that's anything but a straightforward 4-footer. She's left herself top side of the hole. Little bit of movement in it. That she's had this year. It's just lacked a little bit of consistency. Yes, she has the win, but there's always that one round most weeks where you're scratching your head going, oh, if not for that, as we go up to Soa Jin. 80 meters left, should be a nice comfortable pitching wedge. Yeah, lovely good distance control there from Soa. Yo-min for her birdie. like Lee Ye-won pretty badly misreading that putt. A bit of a tricky read there to have both Hong Yo-min and Lee Ye-won miss it by that much. Now Da-som, the other side of the golf course. Just over a ton left to this fourth. There's only 8 from the front here and 6 from the left. Da-som has left it in the perfect position to be putting from, right back up the hill. Now, Hong Jung-min from the back of 10. We'll want to move a little bit back to her right as it gets to the cup. Yeah, a good pace there. Simple tap in for par, keeps her level. Suji, you know how much this swings. Bang Shin-sil's marker is actually a pretty good start line for her.
Get in the hole!
That doesn't need to get in the hole, that needs to get down. Because that has rolled a good 5-6 feet past the cup. Minsol to tie the lead at 10. Just overhit that a fraction. A pretty good week at the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific in sunny Singapore towards the end of last year. Championship eventually won by Thai Ayla Galitsky. Now Shin-sil, it's one of those putts that does wonders for your confidence. You can pop it in. Should be just right edge. No. Just as quickly as she got back one shot at 8, she is going to lose it at the 9th. You think 18 holes ago she was 5 under par. She's going to walk off that 9th green 1 over par as we go back to Minsol. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. We've seen a couple of unforced errors on the greens here on day 2. Just like Hong Jung-min back at 9. That was a 3-putt from really out of the blue from Kim Min-sol. There's an argument to be made for try to take the break out of some putts, hit them a little bit firmer. You've got to back yourself to make the comeback, as Min-sol did not on 10, and it's going to cost her a shot. Still a little bit of work in this for Bang Shin-sil. Ball sitting up very nicely for her on 10. Pretty much sitting on a T-peg. There's an excellent shot from Lee Ye-won. We've seen a couple of unforced errors, but there has been no change at the top of the leaderboard. Hong Ji-won and Hong Jung-min still lead the way here on day 2 at Rainbow Hills. Great wedge shot from Soa Jin on 12. This to convert. Ooh. Second player we've seen miss that one low. That's the main defense of Rainbow Hills. These greens with very subtle little contours and breaks. There's not too much grain in them to speak of. It takes a little bit of getting used to. We saw that from Kim Min Byul yesterday. Hit lots of good shots, but just could not figure out the greens. Now Jungmin on 11T. This flagstick took a battering. This hole took a battering yesterday. That really soft left-hand pin. Today the pin cut close to the right side of the green. Just 4 from the right edge. A bit harder to get to with all that trouble skirting the starboard side of this par 3. So that's a good smart shot. Pin high left for your co-leader. Now Dasom to make it a 3-way tie at the top. Straight uphill putt at 4. That one slip away at 3. And she's not going to make the same mistake twice. We have 3 players tied at 8 under par. A pair of one-time winners and Ma Da-som, who is seeking a first title as a professional golfer. And what a one to win this would be. Still early days though. Now Min Sol looking to shake off the disappointment of that 3 putt. She's got 8 iron at 11. Oh, and that is a young lady's plan of attack at this par 3. Trouble all the way up the right. No matter, just going to go straight at it. Bit unlucky that one catches one of the many slopes and runoff areas. Just trickles into the right green side rough. Good look at where these 3 players in the feature group hit their tee shots in the opening round. Yeomin doing the smart thing here. It's important to find the fairway, make that layup just a little bit easier. And uh-oh, looked like a bit of a Bailey golf swing there, and she's just about done enough to save it. That's okay now. That is still running for Hwang Yeomin. Catches the fast track all the way down the right-hand side. I still don't think she's close enough to be tempted to go for it in 2. The risk certainly far greater than the reward, at least at this stage of the championship. And Suji also out with the rescue. If she turns on her little low roping draws down there, she could catch that downhill slope as well. Got a bit of a soft bounce, but that's fine. Priority 1 here, just stick it in the short stuff. Shinsu. There's a tendency to miss left with the longer clubs in her bag. Not as bad as going right here, but that's okay for Bang Shin-soo. Got a bit unlucky catching that slight runoff. Kim Min Sol. It's a pretty straightforward little bump and run here. Not the bump, didn't quite get the run. gear one now to get within one. So very impressive in her rookie campaign last year. 13 top 10 finishes en route to Rookie of the Year honors. End of the year inside the top 10 on the money and points list. Ran away with the Rookie of the Year crown and wasted no time getting a first victory in 2023 at the very first event of the season. Of the year, I should say. We did have 2 events at the end of last season in Singapore and Vietnam. Hong Jung-min to get her nose out in front again. Slight little mound she's coming down, so it might get a little bit pacey if she's not careful. That is a real rush of blood to the head. That's going to roll off the edge of the green. That is a shocking effort from Hong Jung-min. Just Rainbow Hills summed up right there. Blink and you could be in a whole lot of trouble. So a couple of deep breaths now, has to refocus. So return to this picturesque but perilous par 5 10th. Suji from the very top of the slope, no choice but to play this all as a 3-shotter. Kind of rough, but no problems for Suji. Shin-sil, hands on hips. Is she contemplating perhaps going for this in 2? I mean, surely not. That's top of the slope. That's ludicrous to even consider that. She's looking right. Obviously, the stall does sort of reverse dogleg back around that canyon as the crow flies. So a little bit less ground to cover. She takes a direct route, but remember that 1 over par cuts it 3 over. So she's got a little bit of a cushion there. And you can see what lies in front of her. Yeah, that's the sensible shot, really. Just out with the iron, play it to the fat of the fairway. And that way, even though it feels like you're playing for a 5, there's still a chance you make 4. If you yank out 3-wood and try and absolutely lace one, hit shot of your life on a Friday afternoon, no less, you bring double, maybe even triple into play. Third shot for Hong Jung-min at the 11th after being in a spot to putt for birdie just a couple of moments ago. That's okay. It's going to be at least a drop shot. Yeoman, though, with also a real decision to be made here. Doesn't quite have the power of Bang Shin-sil, but could potentially get the front edge of the green. And well, that is a... It looks like a 3-wood. Possibly a hybrid club. So she's going to have to look a little bit further right than her 2 playing partners. It is a rescue club. Maybe shoots that little rough gully just short left of the green. That's a good leave. Thankfully, that's going to roll into the middle of the trap. So, green-sided 2 for Hwang Yo-min at this par 5 10th. To 11, and Kim Min-byul for her par. Back-to-back bogeys to start the back 9 for Kim Min-byul, who was going along so nicely on the outward half. She has stumbled at the first 2 hurdles on the inward side. Now, so much was expected of Hwang Yo-min when she turned pro in the middle of last year. I have to say, even more so than current rookie of the year leader Bang Shin-sil. It just hasn't quite materialized yet. As Hong Jo-min is also going to be dropping a shot, and more concerningly dropping out of that lead at 8 under. Bogey 4 after having about 20 feet for birdie at 11. That leaves Ma Da-som and Hong Ji-won in possession of the championship lead at 8 under par. Shin-sil's third. So a couple of players struggle to get this to stop quick enough into the 10th. That's just a fraction long for Bang Shin-sil. Solid Jin, second into the 13th. Second shot does play downhill. Just cut on the right side of the green today, so that water's not in play. And that's unfortunately just on the lower tier. Suji. Like that one back. That was a little poor by her standards. Year one reached the 11th tee. Seeing the perils of this hole. Far cry from how easy it played yesterday. Run off on the right. He tilts a little from left to right. Safety to the heart of the green for Lee Ye-won. Rainbow Hills, it is beautiful, but you get out of position, it can bite. Just ask Hong Jung-min, who's fallen out of the solo lead and now finds herself chasing the pair of Hong Ji-won and Ma Da-som. Not quite a straightforward birdie putt for Sargent. Up the slope on 13. It's a pretty steep bank, and it's going to want to work its way left as it comes up that slope. Just got so caught up in the line she forgot to hit it, and she doesn't have to move because that could very well come right back down to her feet. Sometimes just get a little cute with putts like that, and it's been a real putting puzzle that the players haven't solved since we come on air. Now Yeomin, long bunker shot, but not complicated. Green works down towards that pin. It's just a long splash and run shot for Yeomin, and she's played that well. Movement from the right in this, outside of 40 feet for birdie. Oh, it's traveling with a little bit of pace. Settle down. Settle down. Okay. Looks like a fairly innocuous pin on 11. You just get it going past the right side of that pin with a bit of pace, and well, you could be in Hong Jung Min country as we go back to 10 and Kim Soo Ji. Touch of movement from the left in this. And that was a poorly read and rather poorly struck putt. 2021 Height Jinro champion, lone major title. Yeah. Give this one some respect, Hyun Kyung. Coming off a double bogey at 10. It's only one inside the cut line right now. And that one doesn't drop. She's going to fall onto that cut line. Missed one cut in the last 2.5 years on the KGA Tour. Some serious signs of consistency from Hyun Kyung. Yet to win since the 2021 KLPGA Championship. Shin Sil. Oh, right on cue. Cans one from downtown, and Pang Shin Sil with a 4th birdie of the day. Going to get herself back to even par. Sargent take 2 at the 13th, about 3 feet closer. This now for par. Yeomin also will birdie the 10th hole. That's a sandy up and down for Hwang Yeomin. Takes advantage of that good break off the tee. She, like Pang Shin Sil, will record a 4 at this treacherous par 5. And that's Ma Da Som hiding behind her caddy there. Back edge of 5th green. Gentle downhill putt here. Oh, and that close to moving into the solo lead. And feeling very comfortable about her golf game this week, Ma Da Som. Expecting a par putt of this length at 11, but nonetheless here we are. She's looking a ball outside the left. Nice well hold. Good 2-putt. Nice recovery for year one. Keeper at 6 under, 2 adrift. Suji, she's done what you would call the professional thing on 10. She really hasn't hit a solid shot. No. Coming up this hole, I was going to say that she was going to walk off with par. She was got a scroungy tee shot, not her best second. Pretty average third, and unfortunately, one mistake too many, because that is a 3-putt bogey for Kim Soo-ji. Oftentimes you find the professional game, it's not how good you hit it, it's how good you miss it. The better your misses are, the fewer big numbers you rack up and the fewer shots you give away. Yoon doesn't want to give away any more shots. This is a par putt at 11. That is nicely holed. If she can get back amongst the birdies. Second shot now to 12. It's a scoreable part of the golf course. That's excellent on Jungmin. It looks like anything phases her. She has that same expression. Never gets too high, never gets too low. Seo-jin is going to drop one here at 13. Sol very near the front of the green with a big tee shot at the 12, so just a little half wedge left. Safe to say she's not going to be dropping a shot here at 12. In fact, she's going to be picking one up. That is a spectacular shot. Great technique. Good resilience and bounce back there from Kim Min Sol. Let's have a look at this 149 meter par 3 11th. We saw lots of birdies and great shots in yesterday to that left hole location. Very different story today though, with the flag tucked on the right hand side. 13 from the front and just 4 from the right. See, there's a steep drop off right there at the bottom part of your screen on the right hand side of the green. And then Sol found it, ball nestled up against the collar of rough, and that would lead to a bogey. So it's not an easy task today. I'm going to test the players' abilities to just be smart and look out left of the pin. Yeomin. Much of a new breed of players have just burst onto the scene who are adept and comfortable at working the ball both ways. It's not the old school players. Primarily hit one shape. Yeomin can hit draws, can hit cuts. You need a high peeling fade with an 8-iron here into 11. That's pretty much exactly where she would have been looking. Good shot. Just started inside of Hwang Yeomin's ball. It's 8-iron as well, so this is going to have to be a pretty smooth one for Bang. Bogey start to the back 9. And Sol. Just a little kick in to recover a shot, get herself back to 6 under par. Suji last to go. She can pretty much start it at this pin. If she misses it, she'll be right next to it. And her stock shot usually is a bit of a draw.
Push on.
Best of 3 from Kim Suji. Ma Da-som at the par 3 6th, a little bit shorter than the 3rd, so it's only an 8 iron for your co-leader. It's a little bit wayward there. Da-som still not an overly complicated shot she's left herself. So 1 birdie already in at 12. No, it's not to be 2. Hong Jo-min putting touch certainly has deserted her since we came on it right around an hour ago. 3 putt at 9, putted off the green back at 11 and can't convert that from 8 feet at 12. Not often do you find yourself in a group with Kim Suji and say that the 25-year-old is the oldest player in the group. Shin-sil, 19 years of age, Yeomin, 21. I believe it should be Bang Shin-sil first to putt. This one should move right on a grip from right to left. And then that second half of the putt, as it works its way down the hill even more, it certainly will start to gather pace. So maybe look outside a grip right, just try and feather one down there to tap in range. Sometimes in golf, sometimes you get that feeling that you take 1 step forward and then 1 step back immediately. So important to consolidate your birdie, and a solid hole after that. A par just settles you down and you can carry on with your round. A bogey, just makes you feel like you're losing ground. It was better off psychologically making 2 pars. So just nudge this one down there close for Shin-sil. Plenty of respect, but she's left herself a bit of a knee knocker from the wrong side of the cup. Kim has reached the scoreable side of the golf course. Second shot into 12. 72 meters left. Keeps that club face so square through the impact here. Really rotates very nicely through the ball, clearing her hips. It's very nicely played indeed. Yeomin, a little bit closer than Shin-sil, but pretty similar line, pretty similar task. Too disappointed with that one. So Eugene, first cut of rough at the 12th. To stop nicely. scooch this one back an inch or two in the stance, get the hands forward, drive one low in running. Oh, she is scaring the cut from everywhere. Suji, good tee shot into 11. It results in a 2. That one's going to stay out high. And a 3. Will do her card no damage whatsoever. Miss the fairway here at 12. 55 meters left. Really want to feel like you land this 47. Should chase on the rest of the way. That was a very poor shot from the you see the deceleration into the impact area. And the fly is always the back of your mind when you got a shot like that. Shinsil missed a putt like this on 9. To be right edge here. And she's lost that low as well. And she's got almost the same length coming back for bogey. Did end last week's Celtrion Queen's Masters with a very solid 66 on Sunday. 75 on Saturday. That was the head scratcher for the week for Shinsil. Right now, she's 5 over par for this second round after this one drops. Made 2 pars all day, Bang Shinsil. Double and a triple on the card as well. Now third shot at 12 for Yewon. Execution there from Lee. Hong Yeomin can stay at 1 under par. Dasson will stay in a tie for the lead. 3 holes left to play in her second round. No birdie, just a 3 for Suji at 11. Yeomin and Shinsil now make their way up to the iconic elevated 12th tee box here at Rainbow Hills. Up to 13 and Hong Jung-min. Need to make sure you're on the top step of this green. See what happens if you come up short. It rolls back to that lower level and it's no easy 2-putt. It's another stellar iron shot. Will the putter cooperate this time for the one-time solo leader, Hong Jung-min? Some Yujin back at 12. On top of one of those little dewdrop mounds. Should swing it right. Two-time KO PGA Tour champion, Yujin. Insult. Inside of 100 left. Need to make sure she throws it past the pin. Oh, it's another stellar wedge shot. One of the great advantages of a short-term memory in golf is you just block out what happened on 10 and 11, carry on firing at pins like she has done at 12 and 13. Now Hyun Kyung for a much-needed birdie of her own at 12. Doesn't miss from that range, does she, Park Hyun Kyung? Good 3 there. First of the day. Tee off way up high on the right-hand side. 305 to the front edge of the green, but you factor in the elevation. Plays significantly shorter than that. The target really is that tiny island, almost peninsula-like fairway. Some of the great scenes that we come back to year after year on the KLPGA Tour. Just like a smooth 3-wood for Hwang Yo-min, playing for position. Just see that fairway does get a little bit narrower the further up you go. So hitters just have to be wary. Sometimes until you have a little draw. Some trouble on the left side, so there's hedges in the distance. About 60 from the front edge of the green. To the left, but shouldn't be a bother for Kim. So just with a rescue club. Quick tee pickup should mean that is absolutely where she wants it. Just into the left rough, and okay, no problems for Bang Shin-sil. He'll hop in a golf cart and get a little cheeky ride down the side of that hill to this fairway. Usually the windiest cart path in South Korean golf. There's some curvature in that. Sora Jin uphill, second shot into 14. He's got just 4 from the left edge today, right at the top of that little false front. And that's just got enough to stay up. No, it's going to roll back onto the front fringe. Sora Jin, been unlucky there, 1 yard away from being okay. Yeah, Jung Min needs this club to start cooperating. It's betrayed her a little bit in the last hour or so. But should go a little bit right. Just hasn't hit it. It happens sometimes. You lose a little confidence with the putter. You just fail to accelerate it. Particularly on those uphill putts. We need a lot of weak putts, short and on the low side. It's not panic stations yet for Long Jong-min. There's only one back. Suji playing with a couple of rookies, very talented rookies at that, in this final feature group here on day 2. She was one of those players that never really shot to prominence in her rookie campaign, only really started to find her footing in her sophomore season on the KLPGA Tour. Picked up that win at Sunning Point at the KGA Daily Ladies Open, backed it up with another win at the Haidt Jinro, and bagged a pair of wins last year to become one of the sort of week in, week out favourites on the KLPGA Tour. Now Minsol, after starting the back 9 with back-to-back bogeys, as this for back-to-back birdies to get to 7 under par and within one once more. Rock solid for Kim Min-sol. Trick with these kind of shots when you've got big tuft of grass behind your ball. You just want to have that club with a slightly more sort of aggressive angle, steep angle of attack into the ball. Try to get as little grass between club face and ball as possible. Makes it a little bit more predictable. That's not a bad shot, but it's not stone dead yet for So Eun-jung. Chops with a shot like this. Send a little medium flighted shot in with a bit of spin. That is a very poor shot from Hwang Yo-min. Just in that left rough with the ball sitting down and touch. Doesn't have to worry about this one spinning back at all. If you want to drop this one 2-3 yards shorter than the intended yardage, just play for a little bit of release. If she gets it, great. If she doesn't, still that's okay. What you don't want to do is try and beat down on the back of it, get it to stop quickly, and it comes out hot and jumps on you. For the chaser, and she got some check on it. That's a super shot from Suji. She's about 55 meters left here. Unfortunately, just gets the straight up top spin out of the rough, and that's going to chase all the way to the back of this 41-yard long green. So a par putt now for So Eun-jung to avoid back-to-back bogeys. Change at Rainbow Hills. Going along so nicely. Remember, had a putt on the 12th hole. Get herself up to 7 under par, and all of a sudden finds herself just barely inside the top 10. So there are birdies, and there are plenty of bogeys out there here on day 2 at Rainbow Hills. One thing that hasn't changed is the two names at the top of the board. Last year's Hanwha Classic champion Hong Ji-won shares the top spot with Ma Da-som. Shinsil after a bit of a clunky second shot. With this 35-footer up and over a little mound that should move the ball left pretty hard. She hasn't. She has! Goodness, that's the second long putt she's made on this back nine. And look at that scorecard. My goodness, it's been an adventure for Bang Shin-sil today. Hyun-kyo out of the rough on 13. Should chase, get up there and stay up there. It will. What an excellent shot from Park Hyun-kyung into the 13th. Yeomin makes you feel watching Bang Shin-sil hold putts like that? Can't respond in kind. It's only a par for Hwang Yo-min. Two very different ways to be 1 under par through the first 3 on the back 9. Bang Shin-sil way or the Hwang Yo-min way? Now year 1. Much easier to predict how this ball's going to come off the club face. Being in the fairway for year 1. Pitching on the back side of that slope, feeding off to the back half of the green. No harm done. It's definitely the side of the slope you want to be on. Suji for her birdie. Just want to nudge this one. Top of that mound. It's fairly hard to the right, so you've got to be a little bit more positive on it. Certainly didn't lack positivity, but it still swings off hard to the low side. It's a great par 4, this 13th hole. 368 meters, sweeps around from right to left. Trouble all the way up the left-hand side of this hole. Those 2 bunkers in the distance will be the start line for pretty much every player in the field. You venture a little bit too far right, well, you could have some problems coming out of the rough and with the hanging line for your second shot. Longer hitters like Bang Shin-sil can even cut that corner entirely and leave themselves at the bottom of this flat spot right here that we're flying over right now, giving yourself a much shorter second shot into this 2-tiered green. The pin today, well, that's been the defense on 13 in this second round. It's on that upper level of this 3-sectioned green, 19 from the front and 4 from the right. Absolutely pivotal that you get it on that upper level of this green to leave yourself a putt for birdie. A makeable one, anyway. Now Shin-sil with driver. We'll have to look a little bit further left. Perfect. If you could throw it on the green from there, that is miles down the left-hand side of 13. So looking up the left-hand side. Okay, that one a little bit more welly. And that should catch the slope. Down it comes. Right alongside Bang Shin-sil. She's only got a slight frame, but she can certainly shift it out there. It's a very comfortable looking tee shot for Kim Soo-ji. Can just take it at the left of those 2 bunkers in the distance and just swing away freely at it. I just love watching this goal swing. There's just no steer in it at all. It's very much full commitment, full send, pretty much all the time. Down you come, grab that slope. 3 perfectly placed tee shots. Kim hit on the green. Breeze is just picking up slightly as we saw this time yesterday. 5:30 here in Yeomsong County. under, a little bit right at the end for Hyun Kyung. Unlucky that. Great effort, but only going to be a par. Song elected to not go for this par 5 and 2. Got herself a nice comfortable yardage in for her third shot. More importantly, that's a good angle. Pins in the front right of this green today. You just want to carry this past the front fringe and it should just chase on a little bit. Oh, she is in sublime control of her golf game right now, isn't she? Moments away from grabbing the solo lead as So Eun-jung steps into a second shot, the demanding short but uphill 15th. Ooh, can't avoid the bunker, and well, that is, this side of the golf course is getting from bad to worse for So Eun-jung. That is probably one of the worst spots you can leave yourself on that 15th hole today. You just see the difference. Remember, Hyun Kyung and company were at the top of that hill. By cutting the dogleg with power and with a sneaky little draw from Kim Soo-ji, these three players, all with flatter lies and only little flicky wedges in. Now, the only danger for Kim Soo-ji being first to play with a full lob wedge is if she just doesn't carry this far enough and this pitches into the very top of that crest, she could easily spin this back to the front level of the green. You don't want that. So very much the same game plan. Needs to make sure she covers the full yardage. If it takes one big hop and stops, and that's perfectly okay. The one place you don't want to leave this is on the lower tier. Drilling that one in low. Oh, and that is picture perfect. What a shot from Kim Soo-ji. Could not have played that any better than she did. And you challenge the dogleg like that, you hit a tee shot like that, you really feel you gotta give yourself a decent chance at 3, and Soo-ji's done just that now. Shin-sil a bit further on. It's one of those shoulder-to-shoulder sort of floating wedges she has to hit. And that might not make it up. Ooh, no. That's going to slowly work its way back down the hill. Just a little unlucky for Shin-sil. Still, that club's been magic in her hands most of the time. Yeah, Hwang Yo-min has actually gotten Kim Soo-ji to mark her ball, is it? Oh no, Yo-min actually walked all the way up to the green to survey the situation. Well, in the interest of sort of faster play, it's not recommended in your weekend games, but at this level, the clearer the picture you have of the surrounds of the green, the better idea of what shot you can play. You can make a far better informed decision. Now, the only sort of quandary for Yo-min here is, does she want to fly to the top with spin like Soo-ji did, or does she want to play a little sort of slightly less lofted club and almost like a long chip and run? She's opting for a sort of medium flighted spinner, so taking more the Soo-ji path, less of the Shin-sil path. But again, question remains the same. Got to fly it to the top step. Oh, superb shot from Hwang Yu-min. Suji and Yeomin. Great position for birdie. Shinsil's ball actually stayed sort of halfway up the slope. That's a good break for Bang Shinsil. Another look at these two peaches. Starting with Kim Soo-ji. Perfect number. Drilled it into the slope. Got tons of spin on it. And then Yeomin just drilling one in low as well. Judge the bounce perfectly. The release. And there's a reason why they're in the featured group this afternoon. These girls certainly can play. Hong Jung-min at the 14th again. Can't quite see the level of the green from back down in this fairway. Just have to trust that yardage. Only 88 meters left, but with this elevated green, she's got to hit wedge. She's got to cover that false front. Now that's another sublime iron shot for Hong Jung-min. Som now at 7. And only this to move into the solo lead at 9 under par. There's a new name at the top of the Korean Women's Open leaderboard. Mada Som now stands alone, one shot ahead of Hong Ji-won. So Shinsil. The uphill should go a little bit left here. No, almost back-to-back birdies for Bang Shinsil, but if she can manage that little 2.5 footer, which we imagine she would, that'll be her third par of the day, so not all doom and gloom, I suppose. Very hard shot for Sargent. Must carry it to that back level, or this is going to kick hard left, and ooh, there it goes. That's going to worm its way back down. Really almost an impossible shot from that trap. Yeomin for a birdie to finally get to 2 under par. Nicely held. Well played hole and a well-deserved birdie 3. This is a bit of a miss club on 14 for Kim Min-sol. Still a birdie putt, but should be content with the 4. Straightforward assignment for Kim Soo-ji to get back to 3 under par. Oh my goodness. And that is going to hurt. That's really going to sting for Kim Soo-ji. She's normally a very aggressive putter, and it's come back to bite her there. Let's see a good positive stroke out of you, Jung-min. gone out of her sails right now. And that is going down the false front, and I say it isn't so. That's the second time she has putted it off a green on this 9. That is not going to do the putting nerves any good for Hong Jung-min. Speaking of back 9 slides, So Jin with this tough putt for an unlikely par after finding the greenside bunker on 15. And she's going to suffer yet another bogey. She is tumbling down this leaderboard.
타프 보러. 오케이. 앞으로 똑바로 쳤어.
Suji for a very disappointing par. Par up ahead at 14. She has just lost all feel on the greens right now, Hong Jung-min. It's a tough watch. We've all been there, all had days like this where that putter feels like a snake in your hands and you have no control over the club face, over your pace. It really just becomes a rather infuriating game. We still come back and play it week after week. Heaven knows why. Bang Shin-sil. Roll that one in for a par. Stops the yo-yoing up and down on the scorecard. Consolidate her position at even par. Now this also for a par. Min-sol at 14. She want to go a little left. Oh, that's a 3-putt bogey. She's had a pretty colourful scorecard on this 9 as well, hasn't she? 3 pars, 3 bogeys, 3 birdies, 3 bogeys in her last 6 holes. Shin-sil and Hwang Yo-min, good friends from their years together in the Korean national team. Spent many years competing together and against each other. Some of the biggest amateur events around the world, and well, a couple of times even here at Rainbow Hills as amateurs. 8 amateurs invited to test their mettle against the best in the Korean women's game. Shin-sil, low amateur 1 year. Yo-min, low amateur in 2021. 2 of them now full-time golf professionals, and it's Shin-sil who was first to get into the winner's circle on the KGA Tour with a breakthrough triumph at the E1 Charity Ladies Open a few weeks ago. And her full membership on the KLPGA Tour. Now to your championship leader, Ma Da-som, second shot into the 8th. She's been absolutely knocking the pin out today, so don't be surprised if this one is stiff. Oh, just grabbed a little quick. That's a good shot for Ma Da-som. Jump in for yet another bogey. So peachy through 8 holes for Hong Jung-min. She's given up all the ground she gained. You see this 14th tee carved into the side of this mountain. Almost paddy field like penalty area on the right hand side. It's a hole that almost feels like it doglegs, so it angles 90 degrees to the right. Wang Yumin, she knows the strategy here. Just take the 3-wood, loads of room out to the left-hand side. Don't need to challenge that penalty area necessarily. That is onto the upper level of this sort of multi-tiered fairway. This is a surprising choice of club for Bang Shin-sil. With the driver in hand, she would almost have to take it right over the far corner of the penalty area. You can see where she's aiming. Just get a sense from this camera angle. You have to really commit to this one. She's eyeing it rather intently. Oh my word, that is enormous from Bang Shin-sil. I've covered this Korean Women's Open for 3 years now, and I have never seen anyone all the way up there. That is staggering. The talent, the promise that she holds is truly astounding when she starts to tighten up that game, to not make so many little silly mistakes, and she starts to improve her wedge play. I've said it all season long, since she turned pro, she could be nigh unbeatable. Suji, don't expect a similar line for her. She'll be looking a little bit further left than Bang. A bit further right than I thought, but that's okay for Kim Suji. It's like Hwang Yo-min on that higher level of this multi-tiered fairway. 2 tee shots and one brilliant one for Bang Shin-sil. This featured group makes their way off the 14th tee. So sneak their way around and work their way up the fairway. Next 2 holes play uphill, then you turn downhill for the scoreable par 5 16th. Par 3 17th, and that beautiful finishing hole, the par 4 18th, still to come. Now Yewon just up ahead. G2 couldn't clear that false front, so putting from that front fringe. Oh no, that one's going to get returned to her off that steep bank, and we have seen a lot of mistakes around the greens this Friday afternoon, certainly more so than we did in the opening round. That's probably just due to slightly more challenging pin positions. Not that pin positions have had too much bother on the game of Ma Da-som. She has been laser-like with her approaches. This is the longest birdie putt she's had in the last 5 holes. And it's still going to go in. Ma Da-som, the first player this week to double digits under par. She is constructing a fine effort today. She gets to 7 under par for her round with still 1 hole to play. Meanwhile, Yewon, take 2 on 14. This one now for par. That one's been hammered. Understandably so. First one coming up woefully short. Now up to 15, and this would be a pretty slick putt at the back edge of this green. Just want to get this one started for Kim Ji-hyun. Oh, go on. Well done, Kim Ji-hyun. Nice birdie there. Kim at 14. She's on the correct level of the green and has this for birdie. She wasn't going to have that heading towards the hole with any pace, was she? Unfortunately, you just get the sense that the only way this young lady's going to make a birdie right now is if she hits it to about a foot. It's a tough task into 15, though. Well, should come back a little bit off that slope. Well, she should know that that one's going to be quick. Now Hyun Kyung to tidy up for a 4. Okay. Rock solid as usual. Really is a visually stunning section of the golf course. 12, 13 and 14. Down into that rock quarry. This course hewn into the Yumsong mountainsides by the great course designer Robert Trent Jones Jr. Site of many brilliant performances in Korean Women's Opens past. Linsol. Tricky thing about this 15th, you play from a hanging lie to an elevated green, but coming in with only an 8 iron certainly makes the task a little bit easier. Oh, it's not going to release on to the top shelf for Kim Min-sol. Yeah, want to only drop the 1 shot. Tried to slip away, but thankfully she snatched it out of the bottom of the cup. Just cruising through the leaderboard here, and we have seen a smattering of withdrawals today. Some big names have decided to pull out of this week's championship, unfortunately. Now he won. Park Ju-young, Kwak Bo-mi, Han Jin-seon, and your defending champion Lim Hee-jong as well, all retiring this week. Hopefully nothing too major for that cast. So just 118 players left in the field at Rainbow Hills. And the cut's going to fall those 60 and ties at the end of play today. Right now that's sitting at 3 over par. Suji. Haven't seen too many stuck in close to this tricky pin at 14. Nicely played from Kim Suji. Pin high. Good look. Similar number and similar shot required for Hwang Yo-min. Okay, that's fine. Sure that wasn't the side of the pinch you wanted to be on, but you'll take that result. Shinsu. Just be a soft little wedge again coming in here, 48 meters. And that is unfortunately been a rather common sight for Bang Shin-sil, and she's not on her game. Can't afford to miss the green from inside of 50 meters, and that is just poor. So Mada Som's spectacular golf has seen her get to 10 under par and now sit 2 clear of Hong Ji-won at the top of the Korea Women's Open leaderboard. Shin-sil, one of those short-sided-ish shots. She's got to make sure she lands this at the top, and ooh, that's a little ham-handed, that one from Shin-sil. Going to be a very slow putt from Kim Min-sol here at 15. Okay, good effort. Yeah, fairly cast iron 4. The course owes her one after that birdie putt slipped by at 13. But it's not going to give her one back here at 14 still. 4 is a good score. Very careful with this one, Jung-min. This one heads past the pin with a little bit of pace. You could be down where Min Sol was, or even further on. Just need to get this one started. Oh, no, she hasn't. She hasn't. She has. Well, you'd think that would have been in the back of her mind at some point. Now there's just a total and utter capitulation of the putting game of Hong Jung-min on this back 9 as we go back to 14, and Yeomin for back-to-back birdies. Yep, knew it when she hit it, that was going to fall off low. Settle for a par though. Jung-min now to avoid sliding even further down the leaderboard. Oh, well, I suppose that's justice, you could call it. More of a sigh of relief than anything from Hong Jung-min, who just barely escapes 15 with a par 4. But the slumped shoulders will tell you the story. She is not best pleased right now with her putting. Now, Shin-sil, another one of these little 8-foot right-to-lefters for a par. She's missed every single one low, and that one slips by high for Bang Shin-sil, who despite a gargantuan tee shot, this uphill 14th, is going to walk off dropping a shot. So, for her par, still got to give this one respect. It's only 2 feet away, but don't need to slam this into the back of the cup. Just trickle it over the front edge. Well done. Is one of the easier holes on the golf course. Certainly the last really good, easy birdie opportunity, you'd have to say, for the players as they make their way back towards the clubhouse at Rainbow Hills. But unfortunately for So Eun-jung, she's had a mighty struggle. Playing 5 now, and that one going to roll down to the lower level on 16, much like Hong Jung-min. She is slipping and sliding her way around Rainbow Hills as back 9. Championship leader at the last, Ma Da-som, just a little right with her tee shot. That pin's in the easier section of this green. 130 left. Land it short and just bounce it up here. Kicks onto the green, great. If you're short, it's no disaster. And that took a big bounce, and unfortunately, that is going to be a very long putt. She's left herself a birdie. As we say, she's on the dance floor, but that is most certainly not where the band is playing. Well, Yeowon's turn to strike her second into 15 to 7-iron from 125. Just through the back. Okay. Terrible there. Bogey putt now for So Eun-jung after getting a shot into the trees, and oh dear, not again, not again, So Eun-jin. That's further away than her first putt. This is just shades of that 13th hole all over again. Yeomin at 15. Pivotal to find the fairway. You need maximum control to this tough green. It just skips back into the left half of it. That's okay. Suji. It's tee shots like this that usually give her a little bit of trouble. Trying to play a draw into a fairway that has worked so hard from left to right. It's almost a 90-degree dogleg around this big clump of trees. If you find that left rough, you do leave yourself a bit of a hanging lie with the ball below your feet. Well done from Suji. Straight down the center stripe.
Okay.
Shinsu, much like she did on 14, still in attack mode, out with the driver. Has to look over that right fairway bunker. Gone through the fairway at 15. It's no problem. Two putts here and she'll head into the weekend double digits under par. Inside of 5-6 feet would be a good effort from here. That top shelf, pretty flat. Then it starts to take that downhill slope, work its way left, and then try to come back a little right. And then, not a bad effort there from Ma Da-som. She's got that for a bogey-free round of 65. The score she's ever shot in a major coming into this week was a 67. Bogey putt now for So Eun-jung at 16. Hyun-kyung. Give this one a bit of a bludgeon to get up that steep bank. See how steep that slope is. I mean, that was traveling with some pace, and it's just creeped past the right edge of the cup. This has been a terrific putter through her career. Now, for a 65 and the halfway lead in this championship, Ma Da-som for a par at her final hole. And that is a great two-putt to cap off a splendid Friday round of golf for Ma Da-som. 7 birdies, not a drop shot on the card. She will lead the Korean Women's Open heading into the weekend. Yeah, one looks like she's chipping this. So just nestled into the rough, it looks like. Can't tell through the tank. Good tidy par there. Steadies the ship after the bogey at 14. This is now going to be a double bogey. A triple bogey, excuse me, for Soa Jin. Well, need to be a broken record, but she had a putt on 12 to get to 7 under par, and look at the run she's been on since. Bogey, 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 triple. Falls back to even par, and the head must be spinning. Kim Kyung, twice a winner of the Busan Open, twice a winner of the KGA Championship. Still yet to add this coveted piece of silverware to her already impressive trophy collection. Sung Yoo-jin broke through spectacular fashion at Bears Best last season at the Lotte Championship. Followed it up with a brilliant win in the match play last month. He's got this to stay in red figures at the 15th hole. Downhill, peels a little bit right at the end. Got to keep your head down on these. Yeah, well done. So, first look at the par 3 17th today, and still no one's claimed that beautiful Lincoln SUV hole-in-one prize. So Jin would be happy to just find a par right now. She has lost 6 shots in her last 4 holes. And that is more like it for Soa Jin. Very nicely done indeed. Is this 15th hole such a challenging ask? Well, primarily the fact that that green sits 30 meters above the level of the tee. That's a serious elevation that the players have to come up and over. Kim Soo-ji, from the level of the fairway, I should say. Kim Soo-ji, from where she is, she's only going to have around 120, 130 meters, but she could very well be coming in with a 6-iron. Bang Chun-sil right to the edge of that fairway will have a slightly easier task, albeit an uphill lie, and not being able to see the putting surface from back of the fairway just makes it a bit of a guessing game. You know the number, you know what it plays, but it's just so hard to trust yourself sometimes. See if Kim Soo-ji can work the math out. She's first to play. Take that. Yeoman, slightly flatter lie than Soo-ji, so this is going to be coming in a little bit lower. Now, we have seen some players in the past that like to take a little bit more club, flatten out that ball flight, try and land it on the front of the green and run it up to these back pins. And that should feed a little right. I don't think the intention was to use that left slope, but whoa, hang on there, hang on there. Oh, it's a game of inches, and that one just falls on the wrong side of the fall line. Still a great shot by Hwang Yo-min. Now Shinsil. She should be able to carry onto the back deck and stop it quick with this club. Oh no, stay there, stay there. I think that's it for Hong Yo-min's ball. Yeah, just a little kiss, so Yo-min will be able to roll that an inch forward, replace it to where it originally was, and Bang Shin-sil will just have to play a birdie putt from where her ball has come to rest. 6:15 here in South Korea. 37th playing of the Korean Women's Open. Stage once again at Rainbow Hills Golf Club in Yumsong County, where the defending champion will unfortunately be bowing out before the weekend rounds. Hee Jong withdrew earlier today. Actually had a very nice round going together before some discomfort forced her withdrawal. And last year's Player of the Year, Kim Soo-ji, she's still battling along bravely. Had a spectacular bogey-free round of 65 sees Ma Da-som sit comfortably atop the pile, two clear of Hong Ji-won. Here as we tick down towards the end of the opening 36 at Rainbow Hills. Soo-ji from the back fringe of 15 for her birdie. She's hit solid shots, just hasn't been able to capitalize on them this back nine. Just that lone bogey at 10. String of pars since. String of pars looks to continue. This would be sweet relief for Soa Jin after the torrid time she's had over the last hour. Well done. Good birdie at 17. Turns her to red figures. So that's the best bounce back we'll see all week. 8 followed by a 2. Yeoman. Slow putt up the hill. Unlucky. Called the police. She was robbed there. It's just a hard hole, 15. Again, only 308 on the card, but plays more than 30 meters uphill.
많이 안 봐도 돼. 나는 많이 안 봐도 돼. 그래서 올라가서는 끝에 포기.
You can get a drive down all the way to where the car park is on 16. He was certainly thinking go for it in 2, and that's exactly what Kim Min Sol has now. She's standing on the cart path because clearly that lie in the rough is okay. If she wanted to take relief off the cart path, you have to drop it and chance that it may nestle down in the rough. Just got to be careful with your footing here. Cart paths are slippery surfaces. Not gonna get that big forward kick she was looking for, but she's on the green in 2. Shinsil. We've got a line read off Yeomin's putt. And she's gonna make it. It's another putt. Another birdie hole for Bang Shinsil. Count them up. That's her 6th birdie of the day, and she's still 3 over par. My word. What a bizarre round of golf Bang Shinsil is having. And still, it's a major championship they're playing for this week. The 37th Korea Women's Open. Stage once again at Robert Trent Jones Jr.'s designed Rainbow Hills Country Club. Who will walk off that green Sunday afternoon with a major trophy in hand? How expensive will the bulky putter of Hong Jung Min be when all is said and done? Led by 1 at one stage at 9 under. But a host of miscues and errors have left her back at 6 under par. She's hit some fine iron shots. She has had some absolute stinkers on the green. Still, having said that, she's only 4 back with the birdie look to come at the 16th as we go up to the 18th for the first time this afternoon. Catch up with a birdie putt here for An So-hyun, who's not going to make the halfway cut, but could give the gallery around 18 something to cheer about. Good effort there. eagle look now for Kim Min Sol at 16. Don't get too cute with this one. I know it's a little bit downhill after she gets up that steep slope in front of her, but Seo Jin showed us the perils of trying to feather one up. Hit this with positive pace. Even if you rolled it past her where that first marker is, that's okay. Great putt, just a little unlucky. On for her part. Okay, no hold. And her week over, unfortunately, after an opening round of 72 and 80. And the hopes of Hong Jung-min, see if she got a little confidence after making that nice, albeit slightly unnecessary par putt back at 15. It's a nice look here. Slightly up the hill from just inside of 10 feet. Oh, and now she comes up short. I have a sense that Miss Hong is going to be on the putting green till it gets dark this evening, ironing out the kinks in her game. Sung Yoo-jin and Park Yoon-kyung waiting back in 16 fairway. Leah Wan, after what we assume to be is her tee shot, most definitely can reach in two. Traditionally, a bit of a human traffic jam when you get to 16 at Rainbow Hills. Shin Sil's had quite a bit of time to sit and wait back on the tee, and has she brought a folding chair with her? That's some good planning from Bang Shin Sil and her caddy. I've seen lots of things on the golf course. I've never seen a player actually bring a foldable picnic chair in their golf bag. Up ahead on the green, Min Sol, with just a little tap in to get back to 7 under par. Okay. Simple way to play the 16th hole. Hit 2 great shots and take a calm 2-putt to get back to 7 under. So that's one group of this 16th. 3 groups waiting on it. Ready for Park Yoon-kyung, Yoo-jin and Leah Wan to have their goes into this par 5. It's going to be Yoo-jin first with a 3-wood. Looks like she's got a slight uphill lie as well, which will help. She's coming off a drop shot back at 15. That finds the greenside trap. Not going to be a straightforward bunker shot into an upper tier. Kyung. So start at the left edge of that right trap. Just trying to turn a little draw over, get it chasing. Oh, and that takes a good kick. 2 fine shots from Park Hyun Kyung, who will have a look at eagle. And she gets up to the 16th green momentarily. Yeowon, who did turn over her driver nicely, caught the downslope. Much shorter second shot in. This one turning over a touch, is it? Ooh, just a little too much, but she's gonna get away with it. That's fine for Lee Yeowon. Just hangs up in that left fringe. It really is a great par 5, this 16th hole at Rainbow Hills. Start from this big elevated tee, gives you a great sweeping vista of the hole ahead. You can take it up the right-hand side, but the fairway is a little bit more generous. You can try to take it up the left-hand side, challenge those bunkers, perhaps get the downhill slope. You can pump it out there 290 meters or so. That leaves you a fairly short second shot into this 514 meter par 5. Several players could come in with long irons. Bang Shin-sil, to no one's surprise, absolutely pummeled a driver yesterday morning. Remember, she started on the back 9. She was at 3 under par at this point. She was off the tee box before her ball even landed. Took it well up the left-hand side. I mean, not even the 4 caddies and spotters were ready for that. She had hardly anything left into this green for a second shot. And well, she's looking left over the trees again today. And back at even par in what has been a roller coaster second round at Rainbow Hills. They're signaling left. Left is not good. Clatter off a tree. Not quite sure. Can't tell from this camera at the back, and certainly not from this camera up by the green. No one seems to have a clue where that ball's ended up, so I have to reach for a provisional. Shin-sil. Seen that a couple of times. Shin-sil. Just when she tries to step on it a little bit. Predominant miss is left with the driver. Now Yeomin just got to shake off what she's just seen, put a good swing on this one. Standardly, sort of fanning out a little bit to the right. Not going to get that down slope, but we'll be able to reach into from there. Suji. With that little natural right to left ball flight, she can look out a little bit further right, try and hit the same shot she hit on 13. Just that little chasing draw, kind of run it down that big slope. There's that chasing draw, but it's not going to catch the slope, is it? Okay, that's fine. Bang Shin-sil will peg another one and reload for a provisional ball. Again, no idea where that first one is. We suspect in the left trees. A little bit further right this time. And can you blame her? Kim Min-sol did see So and Jung hit a very nice shot into this back right pin, but the only way to get it close is you almost have to skirt the right fringe. Everything in that back section rolls from right to left. That's pretty good. Very nicely done from Kim Min-sol. She is in the first of the two greenside bunkers for Sung Yoo-jin. So a far harder shot than initially thought. And that's so easy to do. Sort of caught in between minds of whether you want to try and pick it, clip it with a bit of spin, or play a long chunk and run. And you see that happen more often than not. Just a little flub into the trap in front of you. Jungmin, one of the rare few KLPJ Tour players that likes to hit a little cut. So this right pin should set up well for her. She's got one more club than Min-sol. She's going to hit a slightly better shot than Kim Min-sol. Nicely done from Hong Jung-min. Sung Yoo-jin, as long as that's not plugged, should be a slightly easier task. Definitely want to carry this onto that top shelf. Oh no. And she is making a real hash of this 16th hole, Sung Yoo-jin. Sargent could end a difficult back nine with quite the shine if this one drops. And it's not going to. It's only going to be a par. Pretty much every professional in the field, whether it's your first event or you start the week as one of the favourites, first hurdle's always making the halfway cut. So Jin, despite her struggles on the back nine, has done just that. It's only a 74 today though, but inside the top 20 at the halfway mark. Now, fifth now for Sung Yoo-jin. That needs to stay up. It will. Run and mark it, Yoo-jin. That is an inch or two away from rolling back down to the front level. Eagle look now for Park Hyun-kyung. That is not too bad at all. Disappointed she didn't give that one a bit more of a run, but never complain, picking up a shot to par. Year one is also for Eagle, on the opposite side of the green. Just about 3 feet of fringe to negotiate before she hits the smooth surface of the green. And like Hyun-kyung, just lacked a little conviction. Well, you've been standing on this tee thinking birdie. And Sung Yujin, I suppose, would be, I would say pleased, but relieved to get out of here with just a bogey after her little debacle in the bunkers. Incredible defense of her Lotte Open crown 2 weeks ago at Bears Best. Top 10 finish that week. Oh dear. It's going to be a double bogey 7 for Sung Yujin. Now with the tricky 18th to play, only one outside the cut or one inside the cut line. Could be some thoughts creeping into her head. Now, come on, Jungmin. Give this a nice positive stroke. Just hammer that one through the break. You can see when she gets a little bit out of rhythm on the greens, that backswing looks so much longer than the follow through. Almost has to decelerate into the ball. Makes a very inconsistent speed control. Yeah, one to tap in for her birdie. Well done. Birdie look for Kim Sun. It's too far left, is it? Yeah. Bit of a misread there from the young amateur. She's got herself a spot in the penultimate group for tomorrow's 3rd round. Was a birdie on the last, and she'll be in the final group. Slogged and battled her way back to even par after that double bogey at 10. Just get the sense it's going to be a nervy next 2 holes for Yujin. Double bogey 7 at 16. Ouch. After that little weight back in the fairway, Kim Soo-ji first to go with the hybrid club. Bang Shin-sil's first ball was indeed lost, so provisional ball is now in play. She'll be playing 4 in a couple of moments. Come on up and stay up for Kim Soo-ji. That is stellar. Look at this one. I mean, again, I reiterate the point I made earlier. She's hit some very good shots on this back nine and has gotten absolutely nothing out of it. You can add that one to the list of fine shots that Kim Soo-ji has hit today. And Hwang Yo-min looking out a little bit right, so trying to sling a hybrid into this back left pin. Oh no, and into the bunker she goes. Shin-sil now. Fourth shot. Okay, she's on the green. Lose a ball like that, get out of trouble. Happy to just lose the one shot. It has been a rather interesting day at the office for Bang Shin-sil. Well, highlights, there were aplenty. So why don't we get to some of the best from day 2 here at
Nice
Rainbow
body.
Hills. That was Hong Ji-won, who started her day in brilliant fashion with 3 straight birdies. Last year's surprise Hanwha Classic champion was making a move early days, and so was Park Min-ji, the 2021 winner here at Rainbow Hills, who opened her campaign with a 68 yesterday, despite being 2 over par in her first 4 holes. Hong Ji-won would find the penalty area a couple of times on 13 and 14, but settled in nicely with birdies at 15 and 18 to turn in 33. They would waste little time in continuing the birdie barrage. This a birdie putt at the opening hole of the front 9, par 5. Unfortunately, she dropped shots at 3 and 9 to record a round of 70 and sit in the clubhouse at 8 under par. Park Min-ji, though, continue to find some form with the putter. That birdie at the first getting her to 6 under. And how about this one from long range at the par 4 fifth. Take a bow, why don't you, Kim Min-byul? At 7, the rookie who has already notched 3 top 10s this season on the KLPGA Tour would add a 6th and final birdie to her round of 66 that leaves her at 7 under par and very much in the hunt. A lot was expected of Bang Shin-sil coming into today. This third shot to the par 5 first. A friendly kick off the downslope. And chase that one down to a comfortable and manageable birdie range. And second, excellent second shot to here. And a nicely hole putt took her up to 5 under par. At 9, just as Shin-sil was getting her day started, Park Min-ji was putting the shine on a very nice round of 2 under par 70 to sit at 6 under par after 36 holes. The amateur, no amateur has gone on to win the Korean Women's Open, but Kim Min-sol, after a birdie at the 4th, she would use the contours around this 5th green to sneak this one in to within birdie range at the par 5. Dong Jung-min, one of the 2 overnight co-leaders, a couple of birdies at 5 and 7. She would add another there at 8 to move into the solo lead at 9 under par. But I tell you what, Ma Da-som strung together the round of the day, low round of the week, 32 on her front 9. That birdie at the 5th, getting her to 8 under par. Bang Shin-sil, well, I mentioned she had a bit of a roller coaster round, had a pair of 7s on the front 9, canned a long one at 10, canned an even longer one there at 12. Ma Da-som stuck a dart into the 7th. That got her the solo lead at 9 under par. And then at the 8th, one more party piece for Ma Da-som. This got her to 10 under par. A 65 today from Ma Da-som to leave her at 10 under par at the halfway stage. Some terrific golf from Da-som as Hong Jung-min takes to the 18th tee. Using the far left side of the tee box, is trying to give herself a slightly better angle to this back right hole location. Oh, yes. Oh, that would have looked so good in the air to her. Doesn't spin it quite as much as some of her counterparts on tour, so that one releasing on a good 15-20 feet past. Now Yeomin splashing out of the sand here at 16. Don't want to make the mistake of not creeping it up to that higher plateau. And unfortunately, she's done just that. It's going to sneak back down. Still, it's going to be a birdie putt. Just not the length that she was expecting back on the tee. It's always tricky this 16th. You're going along well, then find yourself just having to wait back on the tee and again on the fairway for a prolonged period of time. It does tend to throw your rhythm off slightly. Might have had something to do with Bang Shin-sil's poor tee shot that led to a lost ball. So this is now a putt for par for Bang, and what a par this would be. To drop only one. Year one. Players have read a little bit more break into this putt than there actually is. It's no more than just outside left edge. Started at a ball left, it just never comes back from there. I tried, just not enough. Yeomin. Good positive putt. Ooh, almost. Rather unexpected fall. Can't find birdie on the easiest hole of this back nine. Remain 2 under par. Kyun Kyung at 17. Back-to-back birdies. To go back to 1 under. Full credit. Doesn't seem to have her best stuff early doors, and she's battled back quite nicely. Come on, Suji. It's a stellar second shot. Will it be an eagle 3? Sill. From a bogey 6. On a hole that she only had 6 iron in for a second shot yesterday. Didn't have a second shot today because that tee ball was out of play. And look at that. She's made more birdies than pars today, has Bum Sill. Twice as many, in fact. In the end, just the ho-hum birdie 4 that takes Kim Soo-ji to the fringes of the top 10, up to 3 under par. Leaves her 7 behind Ma Da Som, still with 2 holes left to play this evening.